Alright, geezers, I'm doing another one of these. I'm keeping to it. I told you, I did warn you this would happen. Oh god, he's only going to upload every day. I don't even have clickbait anymore. I really am just rambling. But I felt inspired. I saw a Union flag flying high. And I just get irrationally fucking nationalistic when I see that flag. You know, I just think, I fucking love this country. You know what I mean? And yeah, all right, fair enough. In recent times, it's a bit of a shithole, but god damn it, it's my shithole. All right, I can mug it off. I can say that we have real problems in this country, and that's not some cutesy dog whistle for brown people or people whose last name is Patel. But no, you know, we've got corporate vampires. We've got bloodless fucking landlords. And we've got political malaise, this isn't going to be a political rant, by the way. I'm going to talk about art. I'm just going on a bit of a tangent. You know, we've got political malaise, a limp, dickless, liberal status quo, which will, if something isn't done, lead to a Tory reform government. And that's going to hurt people, you know. That's going to really fucking hurt people. A lot of the people that are going to vote for it are going to get hurt. And I don't want to see that, you know, because I love this country. And I am a nationalist. In the old school way, you know. In the pro-working class, pro-Britain way. Not in a getting to your knees to fellatiate America's daddy or Russia's daddy or whatever. None of that, you know, cozying up to the oligarchs bullshit. Actual nationalism. And I subscribe to that. And, you know, it does anger me a lot what's been allowed to happen to this country. Because we're a great fucking nation. And, you know, I see people talk about how the NHS has failed or whatever. The NHS hasn't failed. The NHS has been failed. And love him or hate him, the Goblin King, Prince of Darkness, Tony Blair, one good thing he fucking did was actually fund the bastard. Yeah? Didn't like the bloodlust for oil. Didn't like the whole getting into bed with Bush. Didn't like the, you know, opening the floodgates to anyone and everyone who wants to come with no infrastructure or foresight. But, you know, minimum wage, good thing. Funding the NHS, good thing. You know. He was terribly anti-disabled, was Tony Blair, though. Not enough history books talk about that. Really. Honestly, it would make the Tories blush. But I'm going to talk about art. Sorry, went on a terrible tangent. A flag can do that to you. You see it flying, and it symbolises everything this country's about. Not the bullshit. The actual fucking values. You know. That despite it all, we are still a great nation. Yeah? We're going through issues, but on the grander scheme of things, I think our issues are, you know, more manageable at the very least than a lot of the world. Yeah? I'd rather be here than in America currently, let me put it that way. Or Canada, actually. You know. Things are getting a little bit fucking tense, a little bit hot under the collar. But art, that's what I'm going to talk about. Maybe I should be more political. Yeah, would that alienate people? Would that get people hate watching me again? Oh, dear viewer, what I'd do to be hate watched again. Honestly, I had regulars who would be there and they'd be watching these videos more frequently than the people who like them. And where did that go? Do I have to defend, quote unquote, Illuminati again? Is that what I need to do? Is that what it will take for people to hate me? Oh, God. You know, because I could just, you know, dress up, put on a costume and pretend to be some sort of, you know, outraged right-winger crying over black people in kids' cartoons. But realistically, believe it or not, dear viewer, I do have morals. I do have, like, some semblance of self-respect. So I'm not going to be doing that. Alright? I won't be doing that just yet. But I need something. I need an angle that will really, really get people heated. You know, because I like the videos where I'm just talking out my arse with all the conviction in the world, and people are watching the video in good faith, and they're trying to reason with me when I'm just making it up as I go along. I don't think they realise that. I'm giving my secrets away. Mustn't do that. Bad Earth apologists. But art, yes. 6 minutes of absolute dog shit. Art. Taro Okamoto. Do you know who Taro Okamoto is? He was a Japanese visual artist that I adore his work. Absolutely adore his work. His understanding and his use, the synthesis of colour and shape and texture. It was, honestly, it's stunning stuff. And he's been dubbed the Picasso of Japan by some. And I think that's a disservice to the bloke, I'll be honest. He's his own artist. And he made paintings and he did sculptures. He did sculptures as well. And some of these are huge. They're like the size of a Ferris wheel. And there's this sun statue. I haven't seen anything like it, honestly. It's crazy. And I forget where it is. Somewhere in Japan. I think Osaka, maybe, somewhere. And honestly, his style I just adore. And his most famous piece would have to be Myth of Tomorrow, which is a very surrealist depiction of, is it Nagasaki? It's either Nagasaki or Hiroshima, and I believe it's actually hung up in an art gallery in either of those two places. And I just, honestly, his work makes my heart spin. It's really fantastic fucking stuff, and certainly in a Western context, he's not spoken about enough, you know. And I get anxious. I get really anxious that there's so much art to experience, you know, to read, to see, to watch, to learn, to take inspiration from. There's so much art in the world, and I could dedicate the rest of my life to, you know, experiencing as much of it as possible. And realistically, I'd be lucky to get to 1% of all art. It's just not possible, you know. And that upsets me a great deal. Because I guarantee you, dear viewer, there's albums out there that you would fucking love. You know, albums to make memories to, that you'll never hear. You will never hear some albums that have the potential to be one of your favourites ever. And that fucks me up. You know. And I get in real headspaces about this, sort of knowledge anxiety. You know, because I play up the part of being a fucking idiot quite well. I'm a method actor. You have to believe me, I'm not a buffoon. I'm just really good at pretending to be one. But I do. I've got a real lust, a hunger for knowledge. And it's everything, you know. I want to learn about, I don't know, I want to learn about Hungarian theatre from the 60s. I want to know everything there is to know about French New Wave cinema. Yeah. When it comes to Russian music, I'm already fairly, well listened in the modern context. Big fan of Kino. Do you know Kino? Rock royalty in the former USSR, the former Soviet bloc. Everyone loves Kino up in that neck of the woods, but sorry, no, I thought that was it was a sticker advertising something. I thought it was an ISIS flag stuck to a lamppost. I thought, fucking hell. In my neighbourhood, not fucking likely. But, I don't know what to do about that, really. I don't know how to overcome that feeling that no matter how much art, and I don't want to use a C word, I don't want to say consume, because that makes it sound like a product. But no matter how much I experience and enjoy or dislike, I'm just as invested in reading or watching or listening to stuff I don't gel with. Because from stuff you dislike, you learn more about yourself. You learn about, your tastes. Without the shade, there'd be no sun or something like that. I'm trying to be philosophical, give me a chance. But I've completely lost my train of thought. But no, I don't know how to overcome that feeling. And it happens sometimes. I get in these big exploratory phases, and it's always something different. It's always something different. I get fixated for about a week on one topic. It's not always music, it's not always visual art, it's not always art. Sometimes I get really hung up on business ideas or world history or whatever it is, and how to take inspiration from that. And it's a rabbit hole that never ends. It's seemingly endless. But it's a difficult one. But this one wasn't funny. Sometimes I'm not funny. With a heavy heart, I have to admit, I must confess, sometimes I'm not funny. Some people would argue that happens a lot. I'm gonna fuck off now. I'm keeping to my personal obligation to do these every day until at least the grand return of Slop. What was it? Slop versus Earth? No, Earth versus World. Yeah, until at least then. And then I'll, you know.